Keep fighting, brothers. Your salvation is nearer than you. Fighting, brothers. Your salvation is nearer than you believed. Keep fighting, brothers. Your salvation is nearer than you believed.
The girl was excitedly showing off the money she received from joining the army last month, but now she's crying and wants to quit. She decided to enlist because she could not find a stable job. She signed an 8-year contract and agreed to possible overseas assignments and deployment to dangerous areas. At the time, she was excited because she received a signing bonus and believed military life would mostly be safe. But things changed quickly. After tensions and conflict between the United States and Iran recently escalated, she was reportedly told she could be sent to serve in the region. That is when the reality of the situation hit her. She said she suddenly realized she might face real danger and possibly risk her life. Now she says she regrets the decision and wishes she could leave the military. However, leaving is not simple. Once someone signs a military contract and enters service, quitting is not an option. If a soldier refuses orders or tries to leave without permission, they can face serious consequences, including punishment under military law or even a military court. Some people say she should have understood the risks before signing the contract. Others say many young people join the military without fully understanding what they are agreeing to. What do you think? Should it be easier for new recruits to change their mind? The girl was excitedly showing off the money she received from joining the army last month, but now she's crying and
Shalom, call HALAL, YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, RAWCHAA, QADASH. That's giving all praise to the Most High, in the name of His only begotten Son, in the name of the Holy Spirit. Double honors to our teachers, the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, who taught us His truth and sincerity. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect scattered abroad. Shalom to 144,000. I'm the brother Ibar from the GMS Tampa camp. All right, and we're gonna do this video going into you know, this American meat grinder, okay? This American meat grinder, which is the U.S. you know, military industrial complex. All right, whatever, you know, particular you know, rank you're in the military, or whatever, you know, the different Navy, Marines, Air Force. It's all just a meat grinder. And basically what it does is it sends you people to war to go fight for the small hats, all right? That's another thing that's, you know, been talked about lately, is nobody wants to go die for the small hats. And that's what the American military does, is they're sending you out to go die for the small hats. Instead of them sending their children, they'll rather send the goy, okay? And we gotta be careful with what we say, because we understand how Esau moves, and he ain't, you know, he ain't missing a beat. But in these last days, Esau is being found out, he is being destroyed, and he is at the end. Okay, he is at his end, and he knows it. All right, so I got a few clips I want to play. All right, but you seen that clip from that last girl, man. She trusted in, you know, and a lot of jakes do that, you know. They want to go to the military to make money, all right, to so-called make a life for themselves, but not realizing that, first of all, not only are you fighting for your oppressor and helping them oppress others, you know, they're gonna make you fight against the Lord. You know, they're gonna make you fight against Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHWASHI. Shalom, Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHWASHI. BAHASHAM QADASH BRAKATAM, everybody tuning in. All right, but you know, they will make you fight against the Lord, man. And a lot of you jakes out there that is helping your enemy, your oppressor, you're gonna be destroyed with them. So let's grab this precept real quick. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 11, and verse. All of this is good. Hold on. I'll just get right to the point. It says, Proverbs chapter 11, verse 21, it says, though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished. So yeah, though hand join in hand, you know, you got these Edomites, you know, rallying together, you know, getting ready to go to war. All right. The wicked shall not be unpunished, man. So all of our people that's joining hands with this man, okay, to go fight in his wars and his battles, thinking that you're going to be, you know, that you're going to get a victory. This man is the wicked, and he's about to be punished. Okay, he's about to go over there to that region and put boots on the ground, which means a draft. Your sons and your daughters, okay? Modern time, your sons and your daughters. Look at your everyday American and imagine their sons and their daughters getting sent off to war, which are going to show you that, all right? This is what they're getting ready to do. All right, and then they're lying about the numbers of deaths. All right, of people that's dying over there, American citizens that's dying. They said it was 3, then they said it was 6. Turns out, then they start saying it was 500, and now they're saying it's over 1,000. Okay, all those U.S. bases getting bombed. All right, I got to put a video up. I meant to do it already, but I'm gonna do it after this, and I'm gonna you know, put this as the related video. But basically, it was a video showing you people that went to the military before and after, and they All right, check it now. Salakia, the water about that. Check it now. Lord willing, that's good. All right, sometimes it does that. It says, saith the Lord, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin. And this is the problem with Jake. They don't want to repent and come back to YAHAWASHI. So they'll rather, look for Esau, to help them, And then, the water, call YAHAWASHI. And that's why I got 3 lives going at the same time. Because sometimes one of them may freeze, one of them may shut off, Hey, Esau do anything he can to try to stop this word from going. Scripture says you can do nothing against the truth before the truth. All right, so the more you try to stifle it, the more the word is going out. So call YAHAWASHI. All right, you usually will be one camera, and if it mess up, but now the spirit got it where okay, Esau want to play. Now we're gonna do 3 cameras. We're gonna go live 3 times on 3 different devices. Okay. So the word gonna go out through the spirit of YAHAWASHI. And I just go to show you that we in that time, man. All right, this man is losing. All right, the water for the precept though, and the water for the help with the technical difficulties. All right, let me know if it happens again. And let's bring this back. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 10. It says, "Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness." So you cannot trust this man. You go into his military. What happened with these, these so-called Middle Eastern countries that, have bases, U.S. bases in their country that's getting bombed? They trusted in Esau. And what happened? He ain't defending them. He defending the small hats. He leaving them, undefended. And they was backing them. Okay, so they're finding out you can't trust this devil. It says, "Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away," because he's still the devil. Okay, he'll use you to go fight in his wars, all right? And then once you all, laid up somewhere, riddled with bullets, he gonna forget. He gonna disregard you. Or some of these GIs, they come back and they have all type of problems. They be homeless. He ain't taking care of them. Okay, scriptures talk about that too. How the Lord hates that. All right, so this man ain't righteous. So why would you put your trust in this man and go risk your life for him? And you think you fighting for your country, but really you're fighting for Israel. All right. It says, set him not by thee, lest when he have overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And thou at the last remember my words and be pricked therewith. And even this goes twofold, because you got America that's helping Israel, but Israel wants the destruction of Iran and America so they can be the top, nation in that region, man. All right, the top country in that region. You see? So it goes twofold. Esau can't even trust Esau. Hey, Shalom, beloved. YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH, BRAKATAH. All right? Esau can't even trust Esau. All right, but let me leave that right there. That's the point. I mean, it goes more, but we should all already know that precept. All right? Let's read a little bit more, actually. It says, "Who will pity a charmer that is bit with a serpent, or any such as come now wild beasts?" And you know this man is snake, so you get bit by him, that's on you. It says, "For a while he will abide with thee, but if thou begin to fall, he will not tarry. An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips," and he go into your high schools, recruiting people, recruiting your children in high school before they can even graduate, or get a first piece of pootie tang. He already got them in JRTC, slinging rifles and getting ready to go die for the small hats, man. Okay? This shows you this man is diabolical. And back in the day, you had these U.S. soldiers that was lying about their age to go fight in the war. They was overly patriotic. But now they ain't trying to fight for America. I'm going to do a video, Lord willing, soon, maybe tomorrow, going into how you got these, a lot of these soldiers are moles. Trump trying to kick them out of the military. They moles, they women. They on TikTok twerking, okay? They're not to be taken serious, okay? And these other countries are not taking them serious anymore. So we at the end, you at the end of this man's rule. All right, and we're literally standing on the land that's about to be destroyed. All right, let me finish this and we can play this clip. It says, verse 17. Oh, no. Verse 16. The enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagined how to throw thee into a pit. And that's what, these small hats are doing with America. He's speaking sweetly with his lips, but he want to throw America into a pit too. They have a disdain for America. Oh, shit. It's a lot. And all your tax dollars are going to, protecting them and aiding them, okay? Israel is the biggest welfare state of, in the world. And the biggest welfare is all the welfare is going to, them. All right? So it says, he will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. If adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first, and though he pretend to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee. And that's the spirit of the devil. He's trying to undermine you. He wants to trick you. And that's what, these small hats are doing. Scripture says, the least of the flock shall draw them out. Now they're saying that, Turkey got struck, and then Israel is blaming Iran, but they're saying Israel did it. Just trying to intensify this thing, for their own benefit. All right? But, which they got something called a Samson Project. I can go into that soon, too, where basically they have a military option where if they're losing, they're just going to nuke everybody. All right, so it is all roads is leading to the MOTB first and foremost, and then eventually thermonuclear annihilation. All right, nuclear missiles will be shot off in our lifetimes. All right, but let's play this clip because I brought that precept out to show you how you can't trust this man. All right, so it says, this is from GMS Yahawasah, Hopeful Elect 777. U.S. soldiers getting deployed to Iran to fight the war of Armageddon. And that's what this war is leading up to, absolutely. A holy war is what they're calling it. It says, breaking, first U.S. troops killed in the Middle East returned in coffins. According to RT News, 560 troops were killed or wounded after an Iranian missile struck a U.S. military base. And it struck a lot of bases, all right? I did a video the other day, and somebody said in the comments, as a U.S. veteran, I know that if those bases got struck, more than 3 people got killed, okay? Because there's more people than that in those bases. So them bases got struck, and they got pummeled, flattened. All them soldiers over there thinking it was sweet. Thought they was going to get a retirement, a pension, military discounts when they got back, everywhere they went. No, they got sent to the spirit world. And that's what's good. That's what the military meat grinder is about, because basically they're going to send you, GOYs to war, and it's going to be a revolving door. People just going and perishing, and, it's going to be a revolving door. All right? And they're going to get more and more people, more draft more and more. And that's what happens in war, man. All right? So we coming into a wartime. You Jakes ain't seen nothing like that. That's why you got YNs. It's been pretty comfortable here in America for the most part. But the Lord is about to shake things up. All right, so let's play this clip. The Lord is edifying to those. Look, I got a few videos. I'm just going to let them play for the most part. Add commentary and scriptures. Shalom. Oh, hold on.
Saying that it's only been 3 to 5 United States American citizens that have been unalived in the Iran retaliation. And yet, the Palestine Chronicle is saying that it's been more than that, according to Iran, to the tune of over 500 U.S. soldiers being killed or wounded. Iran reports 560 American casualties from its strikes, and the U.S. confirms 8 serious cases, rejecting Tehran's figures. The IRGC says strikes on U.S. bases killed and injured approximately 560 American personnel. U.S. Central Command confirms that 3 U.S. soldiers have been killed and 5 seriously wounded. Iran claims multiple bases in Kuwait and Bahrain have been heavily damaged. Washington rejects Iran's higher figures and says operations remain ongoing. It would behoove me to think that Trump would not want people thinking over 500 American citizens have been killed because of their decision, him and Israel's decision, to start and pick a fight with Iran. That way he can continue operations, even though we know that he also asked Iran for a ceasefire, or he offered them a ceasefire, and Iran said, bitch, no. I don't know, y'all. What do y'all think? Which numbers are the real numbers? Because me personally, I'm more inclined to believe Iran's figures than these United States and Israel's numbers. But y'all let me know what y'all think.
Sent off right to the meat grinder. A fresh group of American soldiers on their way for Israel. Half of versions. Simple as hell. Hey, they believe the American lie. Okay, they got sold a dream, and they still asleep. Okay, let's grab this real quick. All right, because the Lord is truly about to do a magnificent thing in the earth, man. That's why we tell you, Jakes, to repent. You trusting in this man. All right, you keep trusting in this devil, you're gonna find out. It says Isaiah chapter 13 and verse, let's go up a little bit. Let's go right here. It says verse 12. So like I'm a little stuffy. But Lord willing is edifying. It says Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 11, verse 12. I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir, which is talking about the elect. Okay, why? Because it's going to be so many men. It's going to be so less men left. Okay, the only men that's going to be left is going to be the men of the Lord. Really, everybody else is going to get drafted or get put to death here in America. You know, they might come and try to draft us, so we're going to say hell no and be put into a FEMA camp or something, and later break out. You know, so a lot of these men in America is going to be, you know, deleted. All right, and the only men that's really going to be left is going to be the men of YAHAWASHI, because they're going to be protected. They're going to have that hedge of protection. It says, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. That ain't just no ordinary man. Therefore, I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall move out of her place in the wrath of the Lord YAHAWASHI of hosts, and in the day of his fierce anger. See, the Lord is pissed. All right. So he's about to show his wrath upon the earth. And it shall be as a chased roe, and as a sheep that no man taketh up. They shall run, Slakia. They shall every man turn to his own people, and flee everyone into his own land. You see, America's a big melting pot. So you got a bunch of different nations here. They come here and make their money, and they go back to their country. Whereas America's getting ready to go to war, they're going to flee back to their countries. All right. They you know, like a chase roe is like a deer. You see how fast and agile a deer moves? That's how people gonna be flying up out of here to get the hell up out of America. All right, going back to their own countries. People gonna be sticking with their own kind. All these, you know, Eve dating these Edomites and Elam, and that's gonna be a thing of the past. Everybody's gonna go back and you know, deal with their own people. It says, everyone that is found shall be thrust through. Meaning you get caught with these, you know, if you get caught out of place, you're gonna get thrust through. Okay? What they showed you in that movie. Make sure we good. Yeah, but what they showed you in that movie Civil War, they showed you that basically, what he asked me, said, what kind of American are you? Okay? So you get caught, you get caught up at the wrong place at the wrong time. They're gonna ask you what kind of American are you, and then you're gonna be thrust through. That means something gonna go through your body, whether it be a hot lead, okay, or you know, cold steel, whatever it may be, you know. So they can hit, they can puncture you with a screwdriver, stab you with a knife, shoot you up. This is the time you're coming into. It says, everyone that shall be found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. Yeah, you proud to be an American. You joined unto this place, you're going to fall by the sword. Like I said, in that Vietnam War, the Viet Cong said, soul boy, go home. This not your war. This not your war. Okay? They knew that you was just doing a job for the land of your captivity. They said, this ain't got nothing to do with you. They would capture, you know, whole, you know, groups of troops. And they would let Jake go and kill all the Edomites. You see? So, but this time around, you Jakes might not get that lucky, man. It ain't gonna be no coming back. It's a lot. That's Satan. That's Satan, man. But it's allergy season, you know. So I'm be a little congested. I gotta go get some more honey. Local honey. It's the pollen. All right, but Salakia. But yeah, those Viet Cong said, soul boy, go home. It's not your war. Well, that's what we tell you, Jakes. And this time you might not get that lucky. They might just start doming you. It says, everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword, meaning you're going to get put to death. Their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled, and their wives shall be ravished. I remember I used to do landscaping. I used to ride through these neighborhoods, and it was an Edomite neighborhood, but it all had you could tell who the high level Edomites was, because they had the American flag, they had an eagle statue in the front yard, and I imagine when you know those gonna be indicators, okay. In the NLT it says, everyone, verse 14, everyone in Babylon will run about like a hunted gazelle, like sheep without a shepherd. They will try to find their own people and flee to their own land. Yeah, these nations gonna go back to their own countries. All right. So like what happened with Pearl Harbor. All right. Pearl Harbor happened. A lot of the Japanese got locked up because of what happened with Pearl Harbor. All right, they put them in those FEMA camps. Yeah, boy, that's Satan. Salakia. They put them in those internment camps, man. All right. But they're gonna do that here. You got a lot of Iranians here, Palestinians. You know? So these other nations, rather than waiting around to get locked up, they're going to go back to their own country. Some of them are probably spies here anyway. Sleeper cells. We're going to go into that soon here, Lord willing. Anyone who is captured will be cut down, run through with a sword. You're going to be cut down, run through with a sword, shot up. That's the modern day sword. Their little children will be dashed to death before their eyes. Their homes will be sacked. Their wives will be raped. Yeah, it's gonna get that bad, man. Let me grab this. Let me see what they say in AMP. Oh, got the AMP on this one. Hold on. Bear with me 1 second. Let's see what they say in the AMP. All right, because bro. We about to see some serious things in these last days. All right, and you want to be on the right side of history. All right, serving YAHAWASHI YAHAWASHI, taking heed to the word of YAHAWASHI YAHAWASHI, in the hopes to be delivered. So let me download these different translations on this phone. And let's go back. AMP. Let's grab that. All right, bear with me 1 second. Right here. This is let's go back to verse. Let's grab that verse 14 again. It says, Isaiah 13:14, and like a hunted gazelle or like sheep that no man gathers, each foreign resident here in America, you got foreign residents, okay, will turn and go back to his own people. Yeah, if he dating a so-called black woman, he gonna leave your black ass and go back to his own people. He gonna go back to Becky with the good hair, okay, and leave you out there, okay, and the kids y'all got together. It says, and each one flee to his own land, right, going back to their own countries. All right. Anyone who is found will be pierced through. Anyone who is captured will fall by the sword. Their children will also be smashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses will be looted and their wives ravaged. Yeah, they're gonna come in your house, take all the stuff out your house. All right, all your goods. That's gonna be a common thing too. All right, so let's play some more of this.
Today is my rest day after my slow 10 miles yesterday. But the only thing I can do is get outside, find some fresh air, and pray for peace.
Yep. It's deployment day for my firstborn. Probably ain't coming back, man. More than likely. All right. You Jakes out there that's, you know, and you got some of these family members, some of your family would try to tell you it's a good idea to go out there and fight for America. Just for you to get obliterated. Just for you to come back in the box. You know, for them to remember you by a folded American flag. There's no audio, Salakia. Pray for all U.S. troops deployed in the Middle East right now. That's the first.
Shalom. Welcome to another video.
Okay.
And as always, before I get started, I want to give all praise.
So that's the brother video. You can go watch his video. Let me play this clip right here too, real quick.
A lot of dry rubs out there, but they're nothing like the dry rubs in here. Get Zaxby's famous fingers and...
Warning, we're about to be under attack with Iran. I suggest you gather your family, your friends, your community, and figure out a game plan. You're going to need a generator. You're going to need necessities, supplies. You're going to need tarps, candles, matches, lighters, canned goods, toilet paper. You're going to need it all. I suggest you prepare yourself for what's about to go down. Iran is not playing with us. Iran is going to strike major cities. And when I tell you they're not playing with the United States, go look it up. They're right now attacking. Okay? So I suggest you talk to your community members, talk to your neighbors, figure out a game plan. They're coming. And when I mean they're coming to tear shit the fuck up. And I'm warning you, be prepared. Do not run around here with your heads chopped off like chickens and trying to figure out what should you do at the last minute. What you need to be doing is gathering a lot of resources on what you need to do. So therefore, talk to your family members, friends, your associates, whoever, because we're under World War III.
If you are in the U.S., this is not to scare you, but please make sure you are staying alert and staying informed more than ever because things are heating up. Right now, the DHS Secretary, Kristi Noem, just put out an official national alert warning of possible domestic safety risks and digital disruptions. I don't know exactly what this all means, but they're saying based on all of the international air interruptions as of late, with everything going back and forth between those two major countries in the Middle East and U.S. showing support for one particular country, it goes to show that right now the U.S. may be at risk. Like I like to say, people tend to think that because there's a vast ocean between us, there's no way that we could be affected. But I don't know if you guys have heard of this term sleeper cells or hidden agents or operatives, but they say that there are potentials that we could be infiltrated one way or another. And I know it's a scary thought to think, and I'm not saying to go out there and get a bunch of supplies or to go out there and freak out and be worried, but it's just more so about keeping your eyes on the news and not being overwhelmed or overstimulated by it. Don't panic, don't be afraid, but just be alert. Preparation is always better than the cure. Always being available to understand what's going on will help you to maneuver accordingly. So please make sure that you are aware of what's going on in the news.
You're talking about sleeper cells, all right? It says, Jeremiah chapter 51 and verse 28, prepare against her the nations with the kings of the Medes, the captains thereof, and the rulers thereof, and all the land of his dominion. And the land shall tremble in sorrow, for every purpose of the Lord YAHAWAH YAHAWASHI shall be performed against Babylon, America, to make the land of Babylon a desolation without inhabitant. The mighty men of Babylon have forborne to fight. They have remained in their holds. Their might have failed. They became as women. And you got a lot of men that's getting weak, that's, you know, that really don't want to, these men don't want to fight anymore. And like I said, a lot of them are homosexuals now, okay? They're on TikTok, you know. They was only there to get a check, and then now that their morale is failing because why? They're seeing, you know, what's happening with this whole conflict, man. All right? So we telling you, Jakes, to get right. It says, they became as women, they have burned her dwelling places, her bars are broken. Let's grab this in the AMP as well. All right? We in that time, man. And if you can't see it by now, it's because you probably about to be in it. You know, Lord said he gonna leave you there and melt you. This is gonna lead up to the literal, you know, nuclear destruction coming upon America. A lot of you people that go over there to fight in that war, you ain't coming back. You're gonna be, you know, topsoil. Let's go to Jeremiah chapter 51 and verse 30 or 28 in the AMP. It says, prepare and dedicate the nations for war against her, the kings of Media with their governors and commanders in every land of their dominion. The land trembles and writhes in pain and sorrow, for the purpose of the Lord against Babylon stand, to make the land of Babylon a desolation. That's the Lord's will. That's what he wants to do, is to make Babylon, America, a desolation without inhabitant. Nobody's going to be left on the shores of America. Okay, everybody's going to be dead. All right, all across America, there's going to be nobody alive. It's a lot. It says, the mighty men, the mighty warriors of Babylon have ceased to fight. They remain in their strongholds. Their strength and power have failed. They are become weak and helpless like women. Okay? Like I said, a lot of them is moles. I seen these, it was a TikTok of some jakes that got deployed to Iran. It was a bunch of females, and then you had one gay dude in the back. I'm like, what the hell? And people kept saying, is this our military? We're cooked. We're cooked. Because it was you simple niggas that go in there trying to get a paycheck, and now you finna get, you know, your ass about to write a check that your stupidity that wrote a check that your ass couldn't cash, man. All right? Trusting in you know, Pharaoh. It says the bars on her gates are broken. That's what they tell you too when you go to you know, when these recruiters come to you. Oh, we're not going to war. We're not going to war. But America's always been in war. Okay? But they'll tell you that, you know, and that's how they deceive you, telling you all the benefits, promising you all these sign-on bonuses and stuff, and then what happens? You end up getting obliterated. All right, getting judged. All right, so the Lord ain't playing.
Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you feel as if right now, based on everything happening, the U.S. should back off of their support, or are we already in too deep and we just have to go ahead full on depending on whatever else is to come? Let me know your thoughts. Per usual, I implore you to do your research. I can't confirm or deny. This is all alleged. Can't confirm or deny this information, but please go look into it because it's being posted right now all over the news, all over social media outlets. Like, follow, stay for some more tea. Whatever else comes out, I'll be back with more information. Please be safe.
Now listen, family, if y'all been following the channel for any amount of time, we should already know there's a checklist that I've basically been given verbally. Stock up, make sure your pantry is full of canned goods. You should already have enough tissue. That's a given. You should already have enough tissue to suffice. Gas cooker, all your non-perishables, dry food, your candles, your generator, your protection to protect the family, etc. Y'all know, just like I know. We should be prepared. We should have already had these things for if and when something like what's happening right now pops up. If you don't, go out and get it right now. Go out and get your supplies that you need. Get you a bug out bag in case you got to dip. Have your bags already packed in case you got to book you a flight. Make sure you have you a passport in case you got to leave the country. Some money stacked up and so forth.
So if y'all ain't scared, you better get scared. And if y'all ain't prepared, you better get prepared. And that is not me fear-mongering, that is the truth, because you got to know we have entered into World War III. The last video I made about us preparing for war and about us going into war, they silenced it. So this is something they already knew that they were going to do. Now, all these taxes that you are getting in, save your money. Those cars are not worth it. Those clothes are not worth it. Your family is, because you're going to need every penny of it. We are about to enter in an era that we, in our generation, in our lifetime, have never seen before. We are about to go through things that we have never experienced before. And everything, every penny that you bring in, you're going to need it. I see a lot of people playing in these comments and on these videos, but now is not the time to play. Now is the time to prepare your family for what is about to come. We have never experienced anything like somebody dropping a bomb on a school, killing a whole group of your children. Your children are about to enter into war, and some of them will not be coming back. And it does not matter if you're Democrat or Republican, that is obsolete now. It is time to prepare your family for what is about to come.
All of the heads of the household, it's time to step up. Make sure that your family knows how to protect themselves. They know what we're in store for, right? Just in case you get took out. You could be the one that get took out. They need to know how to move. They need to know how to move. You need to root them in the scriptures so that they have a blueprint, so that they know how to pray without ceasing, so they know how to connect with the source. It's not time to be distracted by TV, distractions on social media. No, you need to be dedicating your time to your family to make sure that they are prepared for what could pop off. We are living through the last hours. It's no longer the last days, it's the last hours. Stay prayed up, move when the Most High says move, and stay stagnant when he says wait.
Let's say worst case scenario, instability actually unfolds. Retaliation through proxies, oil distribution, global tension rising. What should regular people in America realistically prepare for? Don't panic, just prepare. And this is what I mean by that. First, it's going to be a lot of economic pressure. If oil supply gets disrupted in the Persian Gulf, prices going to go up. We already know that. Gas prices, shipping, groceries, airfare, all that. So preparation actually looks like building up a cash buffer if you can, reducing unnecessary debt exposure, and just try not to overextend yourself assuming stability. Wars don't always hit with bombs over here, but they hit our prices every time. We're going to have to prepare for cyber attacks. Modern retaliation isn't just missile, it's about cyber attacks on infrastructure.
Yes, sir.
Pipelines, hospital, banking systems. The U.S. has dealt with this kind of stuff before, so we got to be prepared for it. So strengthen your passwords, use two-factor authentication, be cautious with scams, especially ones tied to warhead.
BYOB, become your own bank. Leveraging life insurance. That's something we don't talk about a lot on this channel. We have to learn how to leverage life insurance. And we're not talking about the life insurance where your inheritances get it when you pass away. We are not talking about term, we're talking about whole life. If you have enough money to invest into that, that can be very beneficial at this time. Or if you've already been investing into it, then you know that. We have to make sure the things that are not necessary, we're not spending our money on. We got to treat every single dollar like it's our last. Only invest into things that can benefit the family, that can help us, that can either be you or your community. Get your community tapped in and involved as well. Land allocation, get you some land. It's time to put our resources and skills together. If we all have to escape together, then that could be a thing too. Find a location, then preparation, build up that cushion, and go. We got limited time though. This is just me giving y'all some common tactics that can be used. These are things we should already know. If you don't know these things, it's time to get rooted. Pick up some survival booklets. When cyber attacks hit, you're gonna have to know how to move, trust and believe it. If they're here for a short amount of time or for a long time, that's when everything starts to count.
I'm gonna tell you what's really going on in Iran, and it's not.
That's why Jake gotta be, have a certain level of your health intact, be able to move. If you gotta break out, running, be able to run, That's why fasting is important. Get used to fasting. So if you gotta go a day or so without eating, you ain't, acting ridiculous. All right. But the time we're coming into, bro, it's gonna get very, 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 very uncomfortable for Americans. No matter how this goes, it's all leading to it getting very, very uncomfortable here in America. All right. I saw a video earlier when brothers was sharing it. It was going into how Iran is shooting down. Iran is sending $50,000 missiles at Israel, and their Iron Dome is shooting $1 million missiles back at those $50,000 missiles. $10,000 missiles for the Iron Dome shooting to defend against those $50,000 missiles, which eventually is going to run this country dry. All right, pretty much going to, they're depleting all your, your arsenal. Okay.
What they're putting out. It has nothing to do with freeing the Iranian people from the Muslims. I mean, that's a byproduct, but that's not what this is all about. What this is about is freeing the Iranian people from basically London control. And what I'm talking about is in 1908, there was a speculator who was looking for oil. And he went to the Shah and said, let's make a deal. If I get, if I find oil, I keep most of the profits, and you guys can get a little. And for some reason, the Shah said, okay. And I think maybe he didn't think he was going to find
What I got to talk about?
how it worked for them. They've had to. They've been puppets. And so, because they're controlling the oil and all this stuff, and basically stealing from the Iranian people, Trump has just cut that off. And you notice he said we're not doing a regime change, like in Iraq. This is not going to be a lifetime war. In Iraq, they went and removed everybody from the government, the police, everybody, fired everybody, brought in, new people. They're not doing that here. And he's talking to their government. He wants them to govern themselves. So they could be a great sovereign nation, wealthy, and they could help us. And it would give stability to the Middle East. And not only that, but anyway, that's what this is really about. But not only that, it turns out that in 2020, during the you-know-what, it turns out the president of Venezuela, Maduro, invited over the foreign minister of Iran. He wanted them to watch the election together. He didn't invite any other foreign leaders, just the foreign minister of Iran. And they were watching it in Caracas, the capital of Venezuela. Why would he do that? Looks like that's not working out so well for either one of them.
Let me know if that brother right.
That brother right there. Show you Jake lost. That Jake know he a Hebrew Israelite, but he's talking about that brother right there. Listen, man. You gotta know who your enemy is. What I brought up in the beginning, never trust that enemy. That guy was one of the ones that was joined.
The United States and its partners have launched Operation Epic Fury. We have hit hundreds of targets.
This right here has to be the most relevant topic of conversation at the moment, because we are literally on the brink of WW3, bro. Like, I literally can't make this up, but I've been seeing clips of what's going on over in Iran on Twitter, Instagram, on different social media platforms. And it gets very graphic, guys. It gets very, very graphic. But just to think that this is what's going on right now. Like, we're literally living through history, bro. And then when I come across things like this, as of early 2026, the United States is moving towards an automatic selective service registration for males between the ages of 18 to 25. Now, the automatic registration is going to involve the selective service system using a federal database to automatically register men within a year of 2026, aiming to close the gap on registration compliance. In other words, we're going to draft you whether you like it or not. And you're going to have to come fight in WW3, bro. And the thought about that is very, very scary when you're seeing clips like this going viral all over social media. Just take a look and do the research for yourself. You can look this up on YouTube, just Google it, go on X, wherever you want to watch these clips at. Viewer discretion is advised. But this is something that should not be taken lightly, bro. I literally came across this video on Instagram, and this is the first thing that really started making me nervous. I ain't gonna lie. I started getting genuinely nervous when I saw this video right here. Bro, read what they're chanting. This is literally what they're chanting right now.
Crazy thing is, this is actual Bible prophecy. America is going to be burned. So them burning the flag, I mean, they know something. These nations, they know something. Okay, Putin knows. They all play a hand in World War III.
You could tell that they mean it. You could tell that they meant that from the bottom of their heart. Now, I don't know too much, and I'm going to humbly say, I don't know what was going on between Israel and Iran. I don't know why the United States is donating millions and billions of dollars. I don't know why we are involved. I'm not going to lie, I'm not too informed. But when
That's the problem. A lot of you Jakes ain't informed. You don't know what's going on. Okay, because you too caught up in nonsense. All right, you better find out, because if your ass get drafted over there and you end up going, you gonna wish you knew.
Launched Operation Epic Fury, one of the largest, most complex, most overwhelming military offensives the world has ever seen. Nobody's seen anything like it. We have hit hundreds of targets in Iran, including Revolutionary Guard facilities, Iranian air defense systems. Just now, it was announced that we knocked out 9 ships plus their naval building, all in a matter of literally minutes. Iran's formerly supreme leader, Ayatollah Khamenei, is this wretched and vile man had the blood of hundreds and even thousands of Americans on his hands and was responsible.
Well, you got the blood of millions. Okay? And billions around the world.
For the slaughter of countless thousands of innocent people all across many countries. Last night, all over Iran, the voices of the Iranian people could be heard cheering and celebrating in the streets when his was announced. The entire military command is gone as well, and many of them want to surrender into saving their lives. They want immunity. They're calling by the thousands. Combat operations continue at this time in full force, and they will continue until all of our objectives are achieved. We have very strong objectives.
Now, what are those objectives?
They could have done something 2 weeks ago, but they just couldn't get there. Earlier today, CENTCOM shared the news that 3 U.S. military service members have been in action. As one nation, we grieve for the true American patriots who have made the ultimate sacrifice for our nation, even as we
For Israel.
continue the righteous mission for which they gave their lives. We pray for the full recovery of the wounded and send our immense love and eternal gratitude to the families of the fallen. And sadly, there will likely be more. Before it ends, that's the way it is. Likely be more, but we'll do everything possible where that won't be the case.
That's the way it is crazy.
But America will...
that is the way it is, but to say that about someone's life is kind of crazy.
...will avenge their deaths and deliver the most punishing blow to the terrorists who have waged against basically civilization. They have waged against civilization itself. Our resolve, and likewise that of Israel, has never been stronger. America is now, again, the richest, most powerful nation in the world by far. But the only reason we enjoy the quality of life that we do and the freedom and security is we have done things that others are unable to do. But it's because of warriors who are willing to lay down their lives to do battle with our enemies. And they do battle better than anybody. An Iranian regime armed with long-range missiles and nuclear weapons would be...
But why? Like, my whole thing is, why are we involved? If someone can answer that question for me in the comments or send me a video link that explains
why. The reason why we're involved is because America is slaves to Israel. All your taxes, all your money is going to Israel. And America is Israel is using America to enslave the rest of the world under Israel. Okay? That's why Jake don't know what's going on. That's a lot of people. And these be the same ones that end up getting drafted.
The United States is even doing this. I would greatly appreciate it. I don't know what the world politics involved. Like, that's the reason why I feel like there's a deeper meaning or a deeper reason why the United States stepped in. I don't see anybody else stepping in. It's U.S. and Israel versus Iran. Why? Why? When it was Russia and Ukraine, U.S. stepped in. Why? Like, I don't hear about any other country except the United States stepping into things like this.
Dire threat to every American. We cannot allow a nation that raises terrorist armies to possess such weapons, would allow them to extort the world to their evil will. We're not going to let it happen. We're not happening to us, and we're not going to let it happen to others. The United States has the strongest military the world has ever seen. I rebuilt our military in my first term. There's never been a military like we possess. And frankly, there's nobody even close, but we are now using that military for good. We want to have it for a good purpose. We're undertaking this massive operation not merely to ensure security for our own time and place, but for our children and their children, just as our ancestors have done for us many, many years ago. This is the duty and the burden of a free people. These actions are right, and they are necessary to ensure that Americans will never have to face a radical, bloodthirsty terrorist regime armed with nuclear weapons and lots of threats.
Which that's what America is. Listen to what he just said. That's what America is.
Go. This is the duty and the burden of a free people. These actions are right, and they are necessary to ensure that Americans will never have to face a radical, bloodthirsty terrorist regime armed with nuclear weapons and lots of threats.
And truth be told, Americans are going to have to face that from their own country, here in their own country. Martial law, Jacob's trouble. You're gonna have to face that exactly. See, that's why it's so stupid that people go and fight in these wars, because you're helping oppress other nations while you're being oppressed in your own nation. You know, it's very silly to go and fight in a war, you know, for a country that you're being oppressed in.
For almost 50 years, these wicked extremists have been attacking the United States while chanting the slogan, "Death to America," or to Israel, or both. They are the...
That's literally what we just reacted to, bro. That's literally what we just watched right here, bro. That's the reason why I said I was nervous.
But can you blame them? I mean, you break in somebody's house, slap they mama and grandmama, you know, and kill their children, and then you surprised that they, you know, got disdain for you? I mean, come on. But this why this man is the wicked, okay? He does evil and act like he ain't do no evil. He don't see what he's doing is evil. You got people like that, bro. They just do wicked ass shit, and they don't even realize that it's some wicked, lame, demonic, evil shit. And then, which those people we call Edomites, okay? Then they take no accountability, okay? And it's because they don't see nothing wrong in the evil that they do. They were created to be the wicked. This is what they were created for. So this is why the Lord is using America to be the hammer of the whole earth until that time comes where everybody else take a swing at this hammer, man. All right.
This is getting crazy, bro.
World's #1 state sponsor of terror. We are the world's greatest and most powerful nation, so we can do something about what they do. These intolerable threats will not continue any longer. I once again urge the Revolutionary Guard, the Iranian military.
It was America that was making the threats. How you threatening a country to what they got to do in their own country with their own property from across the ocean? That's threats. That's pride, and your pride got you to this point, and now you failing. You losing. And it's been, you know, damn near 2 weeks since this war started already. They said it was going to do it in 4 days.
Police to lay down your arms and receive full immunity or face certain death. It will be certain death. Won't be pretty. I call upon all Iranian patriots who yearn for freedom to seize this moment, to be brave, be bold, be heroic, and take back your country. America is with you. I made a promise to you, and I fulfilled that promise. The rest will be up to you, but we'll be there to help. Thank you. God bless you to our incredible warriors, and God bless the United States of America.
Now, militarily, how this goes, that's a real tough call. You know, I've been looking at Larry Johnson's work today. Larry put together a great story involving all various types of aircraft on both sides and the types of missiles and so forth and so on. The truth is this is a big country, very large. They have a lot of very bright, capable people. This is not a backward desert waste disposal plant. This is a serious country.
All right, so you get the picture, man. When that bitch said, I'm gonna say, call halal, Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, or QADASH. The YAHWAH, BAHASHAM, Shafi, give me the spirit to his lesson. Lord, when it's edifying to those for elect, double honors to our teachers, the elders, and apostles, great millstone, who taught us his truth and sincerity, peace and salutations to those for elect scattered abroad. Shalom.